comfortably. The plants also in the mud, it has to go very deeper and take. For that only we water the plants in normal growth. We are not using your pesticides. In mud, all the insects will be earth insects. It will start biting the roots and we can see the leaf color and we can understand that some insect has damaged the plant. So we put pesticides. And when the fruits and vegetables are there, that pesticides go on that fruit and it becomes unhealthy for us and harmful to the plant's growth.
Right. Good. Okay. Okay. Thank you. What is your name?
Samyukta.
Samyukta. Thank you.
My name is Sarvajna Panvi. I am studying in third class. I came from CCD Sai Vidyaniketan School in Rajahmundry. Max friend name is hydraulic car jack. The hydraulic car jack is a device meant to multiply a small force in order to provide a large force on an object. In principle, it works similarly advantageous. In the case of hydraulic, the power presently comes from the pump. The pump is actually mechanical advantages such as a pollution. When we press the syringe,
Have you heard of Archimedes? Have you heard of Archimedes principle? Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sarvagna. Thank you, Sarvagna. B8. There's one left. मोमेंटम अरेस्ट करने के लिए पीछे का पंखा है ना, उसको उल्टी दिशा में लगाना है। हाँ, ये बी, ए और बी, नाम क्या है? Okay.
This is the answer.
Air fills it not come. It is not very hard.
लगाएंगे ना, थोड़ा एडजस्ट करेंगे। पावर किया।
Lift the car up.
Can't lift with our hands.
Okay. You have to lift the car up
Yeah, okay. Where else? Do you know any other place we are using this?
This one is any heavy vehicles.
Any heavy vehicle.
Any heavy vehicles or any heavy thing.
Okay. So, and then you showed that it works as a brake also. So where have you seen somewhere it is used as a brake?
Car come. We are pressing a brake, no sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You want to explain or you want me to ask you a question?
I want to explain, sir.
But quickly, in 30 seconds.
Oh.
Okay.
My name is.
No, I know everything. So you just explain what is the principle.
उसके बाद सर इसको कल चलाने के लिए दूसरा सर पीसी यूज करना। यस सर। सर टीचर ने नहीं मतलब सर
Is Rituja Govind Shinde
का
present?
काम है वो सर मतलब बताते हैं ना हमको कि ऐसे
We are looking for Rituja Govind Shinde.
जोड़ो तो ऐसे ऐसे सही होगा। फैन वगैरह तो सर मैं ही लगा दी। मैं सर क्या काम किया था ना इसका सारा एलईडीज वगैरह सारा सर कनेक्ट कर दिया फैन वैन और फिर उसके बाद सर बताएं कि इसको ऐसे करोगे तो काफ़ी अच्छा रहेगा इसको इसमें जोड़ना इसको ऐसे जोड़ना सर ये सब तो इंजीनियरिंग का है ना इनका सर हम लोग को कहाँ भी सर
इंजीनियरिंग भी समझो
हाँ
पीछे का साइंस भी समझो
यस सर ये सब सर
ऑल द बेस्ट
थैंक यू सर
From 6 different states. So next year we're going to have it from all 28 states of India. We'll make it larger.
सेकंड मैच बंद है ना? ठीक ठीक।
produce pollution.
Some gases are poisonous.
No, no. It's not like that. It's a gas coming from biomass.
Okay, sir.
How does biomass produce? You know, somebody has taught to you? No, no. Okay.
By fermentation method.
Huh?
By fermentation method.
No, no, no. You have heard, you know, the trees, they purify air. You have heard this? Somebody has taught you? How do trees purify air?
By using photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. You know photosynthesis. Huh? What happens in photosynthesis?
The trees takes carbon dioxide and releases oxygen.
Releases oxygen. Correct. And then that is how that biomass is formed, no? No. The tree grows because it takes carbon dioxide from air, and that becomes material, you know, tissue or whatever, stem grows, leaf grows, like the branches come out. All that is out of the carbon from air. So when you produce gas out of biomass, it is the same carbon which goes back. You are not adding anything to this. So it is clean. Whereas if you take Barshane or other thing, that comes as gas from ground, no? And then when you burn that, there is an extra carbon dioxide you release. So one pollutes and other doesn't pollute. Otherwise, basically what comes out of the gas is same. But that is how biogas is better. Followed, no? Good.
Solar wind.
Huh.
To add hydraulic foundation to my house.
Hydraulic
Yes, sir.
foundation.
Yes.
What is that?
Sir, I should go there.
Yeah, go ahead. Smart kids.
Hydraulic machines help us to lift our house whenever natural calamities like floods or earthquakes occur. To avoid our house not to drown inside the water. It works like this. It works like this. Again, we can replace our house in the same place after occurring the.
In the beginning, you keep it up and leave it there. Why not?
Sir,
Why this complication?
sir, here any natural calamities are not occurring.
Huh? Not occurring. Stop it. But then you don't require that. If natural calamity doesn't occur, then you don't require that. If it is going to occur, you just make the house little above. Very simple, no? Yeah, but this is interesting. What you have done is very interesting.
We all know that we should plant more trees beside our houses. We should plant more trees beside our houses.
We should plant
More trees.
more trees, yeah.
Because plants are a good oxygen producer. And we can also get fruits and vegetables without any pesticides and fertilizers. If we should plant trees in the south and north directions or any opposite directions, they will act as wind barrier and balance the temperature in summer and winter seasons. Thank you for spending your valuable time, sir. Good morning, sir.
Huh.
My name is B. Subramaniam, sir. I am studying 5th standard in Oakland School of Excellence, sir. Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. My project theme is energy, sir. My project title is Power Needs and Solutions. These needs and solutions. These days we are facing too long power cuts.
I think in Mumbai there is no power cut, but in Hyderabad it is very critical power cuts are there,
You
sir.
take power from Mumbai. When you go back, you take power with you.
It is not
Good idea, no?
It is not possible, sir. So, there is a huge shortage of power to the industries, agriculture and domestic sectors. In rural areas, it is quite more miserable, sir. Really. Why? Because they are facing long power cuts up to 10 to 12 hours.
So from Hyderabad, you send power to rural areas.
Means it is not possible, sir.
Why?
Hyderabad to rural areas, if we put wires, for example, we have loss, sir. If we send voltage in less volts, then we'll have more loss, sir. If we send voltage in high volts, then we'll have less loss, sir. So,
So you send it as high volts.
means, sir, it is not possible, sir.
Why?
Why? Because wires can't cover all the area.
Wires have not been laid.
Yes, sir.
I think there are wires.
Wires can't
From
cover
Bombay-
all the area.
From Bombay to Hyderabad also there is wire, and from Hyderabad to villages also there is wire.
But, sir, it can't cover, sir.
Why?
Well, it is not sufficient, sir.
Ah.
Power generation is not sufficient,
It
sir.
is not sufficient.
Yes, sir.
So Bombay just uses power
Yes,
and
sir.
doesn't give it to other people, and Hyderabad doesn't give to rural people.
No, sir.
No.
Means city consumes more, sir.
More than.
Consumes more.
Okay, tell me what you have done.
Yeah, power production per year is 600 kilowatt hours for a person. So one person consumes 600 kilowatts per hour. So like that. In Europe it is 20 times higher. In USA it is 50 times higher.
So we should get power from there. They have so much of power.
It is not possible,
Why
sir.
not?
They are applying few methods
Ah.
to generate more power, sir. I'll tell you, I'll explain you, sir.
Sure.
So, it is like this, sir. But still we are facing power shortage. If we look at the environmental concerns, India is the third largest carbon dioxide polluter behind China and US. 38% of the pollution is from power sector. It is one main point, sir. Really, it is...
Very bad, no?
yes, sir.
So what to do then? Produce less power.
No, sir, it's
Then?
not like that.
Then?
If we look at the energy security concern, 67% of thermal-based power plants depend on imported coal. So, coal in our country is almost finished. They are planning to finish other countries' coal. Nuclear.
So what you should do?
So we should, I'll tell, sir, apply
tell,
few
sir.
methods. First, let me complete my
I'm
introduction.
interfering in your talking, no?
Yes,
I
sir.
should not do that.
No, sir, it's not like
Okay.
that. Nuclear reactors use dangerous radioactive elements, which are harmful to the environment. Hydro-based projects are dependent on the rainfall. Hydro-based projects are dependent on the water stored in the reservoir. It is very funny, sir.
Why funny?
Why? Because if there is no water in the reservoir, if there is a water shortage, then no hydropower.
Yeah, so you store water, that's why.
Yes, sir. India with its vast population and limited resources. So there is an urgent need to increase power productions by different resources. So to make our country more self-sufficient in power sector. So along with the present power generation sources, we should go for alternative power generation sources. We should choose such a type of resource which will be available for maximum time and cost effective. Two among them are solar and wind. So I have chosen these both, and I prepared a model of solar city. So power is generated from sun radiation and wind energy. People living over here enjoy 24/7 power supply. So
How sun doesn't shine 24/7?
means battery backup in the night, sir.
Battery backup in the night. Okay.
So, sir, second one. Who discovered first photoelectric effect? I'll tell you, sir. Albert Einstein discussed the nature of light and photoelectric effect and won a Nobel Prize in 1905. In 1954, Bell Laboratories built first photovoltaic module. And in 1970s, US-based industry used solar technology for power generation. So, sun is the source for production of solar energy, sir. So, electricity, a principle involved in this is capturing the sunlight and conversion of the sunlight into electricity. I'll tell it how. In the solar technology, there are two technologies. They are photovoltaic-based systems and thermal-based systems. First, let me explain about photovoltaic-based systems. In this, power is generated by using PV module or photovoltaic module according to the required power. So, power is generated by using photovoltaic module. So, this is one PV panel, sir. So, it is like that. Sir, you came, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Photovoltaic module. So in this, sir, there are many things. So I am explaining few things. Why? Because I can't learn so much. So how is a PV cell made? So it is a solar panel, sir. So in this, many cells make one panel. So if I have more small example, this is a cell. So this cell runs 3 LEDs. So how many layers are there in this? I'll tell you, sir. There are many layers. They are silicon substrate, back contact grid, negative n-type silicon, positive p-type silicon, front contact grid and anti-reflective coatings by chemical deposition process. So these layers are present in a solar cell. How is a PV module made? As I told you, PV module is nothing but a group of solar cells. So how are they interconnected? Solar cells are interconnected using thin-coated copper wires or strings to form a required voltage and wattage. Then it is sandwiched in the adhesive layers, glass and protective back sheet. And then the wires are taken out to the junction box. So this is the junction box, sir. I told the strings for the required voltage and wattage, and then they are taken out to the junction box. Principle in this.
There are wires behind this also?
No, sir. As I
No. This one,
yes, sir.
this you have this
Yes,
cells,
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
And then you have these connectors here.
Yes, sir.
Behind this also there are wires?
No, sir.
There are no wires.
Metal strings, sir. It is a string.
Strings.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So the principle in this, how now I told you how does power is generated. Now inside it, what happens? Negative and positive type silicon come into reaction under sunlight, and electric current is formed, which is used to produce electricity. So,
How electric current is formed?
sir, it is complicated thing, sir. I'm
Tell me,
telling
no.
you.
I want to understand from you.
So, you told string.
You said sunlight falls. You said Einstein's photoelectric effect. So electrons are released. Up to that I understand.
Electrons are released.
Now,
So, I tell
how does current
photons,
form? Yeah.
the photons in the sunlight falls on the electrons. Photon is nothing but a packet of energy, sir. Energy.
What kind of energy?
Sunlight, sun energy, sir.
Light energy.
Yes, sir. So when the photons fall on the solar cells, the electrons inside the solar cells get excited, and then they complete the circuit by running. So if we get excited, we run, we jump. So even the electrons jump.
So if you get excited, you'll produce electricity.
It is not like that, sir.
Then?
If it is electron's nature, sir. So if we excite, sir.
You said you produce a positive particle and a negative. What did you say?
No, sir. Means electrons in the positive and negative type silicon, sir.
Positive and negative type silicon.
So electrons
So now
will be present,
from
sir.
there, how does the current come? That's what I wanted to know.
Photons will be, sir. They'll fall on. They'll fall.
That explains the production of this electron.
They will fall on the electrons. Then electrons will get excited, and they will run, and complete the circuit. So like that, power is produced in this. My father explained me in a simple manner.
Simple manner.
Yes,
But
sir.
you have to explain to me even simpler manner. I'm not as sharp as you. Okay, you said that electrons get excited.
Yes, sir.
Then you said that
They
there is
run.
an external circuit or wire. So
They
it moves
complete-
so that it becomes current gets.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Same, sir. You got it, sir.
Huh.
In this, two technologies are there, sir. On grid. In this on grid, many photovoltaic, as I told you, many photovoltaic panels together is known as on grid. So they can generate very high power, sir. A solar power plant is an example. So many groups of solar panels can generate high power. This is more suitable for industries, sir. Not only for industries, it can run anything, but industries take more power, sir. It is one thing, sir.
How much power it will produce?
It will produce 2 watts 6 volts, sir.
2 watts.
So this one is high end, sir. It produces 5 watts 12 volts. So it is like this, sir. So next one, solar power generation by thermal based systems. In this, capturing the sunlight and conversion of the sunlight into thermal energy, and
I thought it was producing electrons. Now, how thermal energy?
that is a new tech. I'll tell everything, sir. thermal energy. That thermal energy is converted into electrical energy, sir. So what happens that thermal energy? They put a tube, sir, copper tubes. In that copper tubes, they'll put the water. Then the water will get heated, and that will turn into steam. That steam will rotate the steam turbine, and it will generate electricity. It is the same thing.
Very simple.
Yes, sir. Example is CSP, concentrated solar power, and next one is solar water heater. So let me explain about CSP. In CSP, high power is generated in megawatts. So devices in our home run with kilowatts maximum. 1000 kilowatts make 1 megawatt. Like computer MB KB. It is like that. It's something. CSP consists of lenses and mirrors to focus a large area of sunlight into highly intense narrow beam. This intense narrow beam is sent to to generate high temperature. That high temperature is used to heat working fluid or water. Then the working fluid or water turns into steam, and then steam turbine, as I told you. Then it will rotate. Then electricity will be purchased. This is stored in a storage device.
So who told you, daddy or the teacher?
Actually, I got knowledge, sir, from net.
From net.
Yes, sir. Net is very useful, sir.
Net is very useful.
Yes, sir. CSP consists of highly polished parabolic tubes or dishes arranged as an array in a semicircle. So it's arranged in a semicircle.
It is not quite circle.
Semicircle, sir.
Not quite semicircle.
Not something semicircle.
Something.
Semicircle means half circle.
You heard the term parabola?
Parabolic. Parabolic is a shape, sir.
Shape.
It will be like
And
this.
semicircle is also a shape.
Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
parabolic tubes
Yeah.
are arranged in a semicircle to form an array. Then, to focus the sunlight onto the receiver tower, and then it is used
Those
to.
are not parabolic.
Shall we go to some other people? We have been spending a lot of time at this.
1 minute.
Listening to you for a very long time.
Last thing, sir. First, me take my point, sir. Parabolic tubes. Judge, sir should understand, no, sir. That's why. My concept is not. My concept is not to finish everything. To make you understand what is the new technologies.
Educated.
Finish quickly.
Sir, yes, sir. So it is CSP, sir. As I told you, everything. So by this we can avail 24 hours power supply. Example is CSP, 10 megawatt CSP in Bikaner district, Rajasthan. Okay, solar water heaters. Solar water heaters are found very commonly at different places. They are usually set up at terrace. Why? Because they can capture more sunlight on the terrace. Advantages of solar energy. The sun radiation has no end.
It has an end. In the night it stops.
But again it comes, no,
Again
sir.
it comes, yes. But in the night it stops. Okay, go ahead.
At night we can manage by putting battery.
Battery.
So sun radiation has no end. Second point is nothing but standalone systems. Standalone systems are more flexible and portable. They can be set up at any place, and they are more useful in remote rural areas, sir. Third one is solar power generating plants are pollution free comparing to the nuclear and thermal energies. Limitations. The sun does not shine consistently. This can be managed by collection, conversion and storage. So first let me explain about wind energy. So my model is solar wind city.
You are a Wikipedia yourself, huh? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good. It was nice. Thank you.
Rightly, right. So you are happy now that I came back?
You have to go back to your seat so that